Yo, what's up, guys? In this video, I really just wanted to go over things that I've learned, the mentality that I have, the work ethic, and everything that's really allowed me to hit my first ever $20,000 a month with online business. So, first things first, I really just want to preface, just off the rip, that the online space in general, there are a lot of people. There's a lot of money in it. There's a lot going on. There's a lot being circulated, but it's tainted. And a lot of you probably already know this. There are a lot of shady people in this industry, and it's really just sad to see because it brings out the realness and I guess the someone's true colors whenever money is involved. And it's really sad to see because you'll see a lot of people who have this great face, like they're all about like improving, they're all about helping other people, yet deep down it's really all about the money to them. And I want to preface this right now. If that's you, if you only care about the money, if the only reason you want to start or have started is the money, you're not going to go far. I promise you that. You're not going to go far. And that was one of the biggest lessons I had to learn getting into all this, was not to chase the money. Because, I mean, let's be real. Who doesn't want more money? Money is the solution to a lot of people's problems. And it's bad to idolize. You cannot idolize it. That was one of the first things I had to learn. And another thing, making all this money is great, but I will say it comes at a very, very high price. You could want to make 10K a month. You could want to make 20K a month. You could, want to be successful, but are you willing to put in that work? That's the real question. Are you willing to get up every single day knowing that this shit is going to suck and do it regardless? Are you willing? Are you willing to sacrifice, sleep? Are you willing to sacrifice friends? Are you willing to sacrifice everything that you know and love to hit your goals? Really, ask yourself the question. Genuinely, ask yourself the question. Are you willing to put it all on the line to get to where you want to be? And if the answer is no, I'm sorry, this probably isn't for you. I'm gonna be honest. It's not for a lot of people. That's why not a lot of people succeed, is because not everyone's actually wired for it. And I originally wasn't wired for it. It's not like you're just born with it. I mean, some people are. But sometimes you can wake up. And I was one of those people. I mean, I was always ambitious as a kid. I was always, wanting to succeed. I always wanted to be successful one day. I always had big goals. But, I really wasn't trying to, achieve them. I was a talker, you know what I mean? And when you're a talker like that, it's very draining. You'll tell people, oh, I'll be successful one day. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start that business. You tell your best friends, oh, I'm going to start that business. I'm going to be rich one day. And then you go and get on the game. And then you go and scroll on your phone. You eat like shit. You really think you're going to be successful if you continue doing what you're going to do? No, you're not. You're going to be on your deathbed one day, wondering where all your time went. And you have to have that sense of urgency. If you want to succeed, you have to have a sense of urgency. You only have one life. One. It's like the reference of saying that guy who is like, if you were only driving one car for the rest of your life, how would you treat that car? You'd probably baby it until the day you die. And that's exactly what you need to do with your body, because your body is not replaceable. You're not replaceable. And you need to realize this. Hey, you only have one life. So if you want to succeed, you need to have that sense of urgency. You need to, know that time is running out. Like, let's say for example, you see the School of Hard Knocks, the guy who does those interviews for all these rich people. And you always notice that they're always busy. They're always going somewhere. They're always moving. Sometimes he'll do the interview while they're walking. You want to know why that is? Is because every single successful person, every single entrepreneur knows that time is their most valuable asset. It is non-renewable. You can always get more money. You can always get all these other things, materials, whatever. You can't get your time back. And you'll see it time and time again whenever he interviews these people. They'll literally say, I'd trade billions of dollars to get 10 years of my life back. 10 years. I would do anything to go back. I don't care what amount of money it takes. I've already made a lot of money. I would pay any amount of money to get my time back. And that's what you need to realize. So the next time you feel like being comfortable, you feel like being lazy, you feel like, doing nothing, realize that your time is limited. And every time you decide to be lazy, or you waste your time, or you do something that doesn't get you closer to your goals, that you're just putting off the inevitable. That you will never, ever reach your goals. Never. You have this mindset. You need to change it. And that's why I believe mindset is so important. A lot of people underestimate it. Like, sure, you can put in the work, but is your mind really clear? Are you really set on where you want to go? Probably not. See, whenever you're depressed or whenever you're going through something that's hard, you only have you in your mind. You have nothing else. Sure, you have like all these influences, but really it's just you and the fucking mind. That's it. You and your subconscious. You and your thoughts. Who are you in those dark times? Genuinely, who are you? Whenever it's just you and you know that, this is a very, very hard time in your life, arguably one of the hardest times. You're trying to push through, yet it's your mind's telling you all these things like, hey, you need to stop, you need to quit, blah, blah, blah. Who are you in those times, genuinely? Who are you? Right? Because as like I've made a lot of money, I wouldn't say a lot. I mean, to a lot of people, it's a lot, but to me, like seeing how much you can make potentially, it's not a lot of money. I've had to go through a lot of shit, like a lot that you guys probably haven't seen. And, like most other influencers online, they don't really document that. And I just want to, tell you guys that this journey is not easy. It's not for a lot of people, but the reward is so worth it. So, bringing you back to what I was saying about mentality, it's so important. You have to have a great mental outlook on where you want to go. And say, screw my feelings. I don't care how I feel. I feel like shit one day. I may feel very motivated on a certain day. You just need to do the work regardless of how you feel. And it's very, very hard. It requires a lot of discipline. And nobody's going to give you that discipline. You have to make it yourself. You have to create it. You have to mold it through consistency and rewiring your mind to become that person that you've always wanted to become. So, I mean, like, let's say you have no money in your account. Like, let's say your net worth is less than $5,000. And you're probably making a couple grand a month max from your 9-to-5 job. Think about the version of you who is making 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, 40K. Think about like who you would want to be ideally, the best possible version of yourself. What does that look like? Down to every aspect, like the look, the personality, the confidence, the amount of money they make, the discipline they have, their daily routines, everything like that. And it's really crazy because you can become that person, genuinely. All those things that you're visioning right now in your head, you can become. Because the mind is so malleable. The younger you are, the easier it is to rewire your mind. Not saying that it's impossible when you're older, but just the level of neuroplasticity really affects how you can change yourself. And the mind is so powerful. That's why I harp on mindset every single time on all my content, is because of how important it is. And a lot of people overlook that. So one of the next biggest lessons that I had to learn was mindset. Realizing that you have to become a different person if you want a different result. Realizing that you have to do something different if you want a different outcome. You can't expect to just do the same bullshit over and over and over again and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity. So you really have to have a different outlook. You really do. You have to think a different way for most people. You have to be a problem solver. You have to look at the producer side of things rather than the consumer side of things. You can no longer be a consumer. I mean, maybe you can consume in your free time for like an hour a day max. I wouldn't even recommend doing that. That's how you slip in your old habits, because it's just going to increase. You're going to be like, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 4 hours. You get the gist, right? So it's very, very important to rewire your mind, rewire your identity. And the final thing that I wanted to go over was the fact that there are going to be a lot of days where you want to quit. A lot more than I would love to admit. And I guarantee you anybody else will tell you the same thing if you really ask them. There are going to be those hard days. There are going to be those days that absolutely suck. But God, I don't know if you're a believer in God. I don't know if you're religious at all. But I firmly believe that God has a plan for everyone, and He would never throw something at you that you are not capable of handling. And you've been there before. You've experienced hard things before, and look at you now. You're still alive. You're still kicking. You're still going. So when you experience these hardships, which inevitably you will, have to realize that God is giving you these for a reason. He's testing you to see if you're actually ready or willing to grow and be uncomfortable, to actually become a new person, to have this new identity. Right? Because if you're doing the actions that your old self would do, you're never going to grow. You're never going to change. You're never going to get to those goals. You have to do the hard things, and God is going to throw a lot of hard things at you on your journey. And you have to be ready to accept those things and move past them and move forward and push through. And inevitably, they're going to happen, like I said. They're going to allow you to grow. They're going to allow you to change. They're going to allow you to break through. The hardest moments I have had to endure in my entrepreneurial journey have been right before the next breakthrough. Every time. Every single time. When you go through something ridiculously hard and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know like what's going to happen. All the self-doubt comes flooding back in, all the limiting beliefs. And it feels like it's all going to come crashing down. But you have to realize that this is a test. This is how you're going to grow. This is how you're going to get better instead of being the lazy person you used to be. And when you push through that, you'll break through. You'll reach that next milestone. You'll hit that next goal. And it's always going to be hard no matter what level you're at, no matter how much money you have. It's just going to get a little bit easier to deal with because it's more familiar. So remember all these things. I guarantee you, if you implement at least one thing from what I've talked about in this video, you will be on your way to success, genuinely. And I will continue to preach about this. I know I haven't made a video like this in a while. If you're still watching this, if you're still, listening to me right now, honestly, props. A lot of people's attention spans wouldn't even make it this far. But you're different. Obviously you're watching this video for a reason. Obviously you want to go and succeed. Obviously you have these big goals. If I wasn't providing any value to you right now, you wouldn't be watching at this point. Plain and simple. It's either that or entertainment. I'm not here to provide entertainment. I'm here to provide value and change your life. Because I changed mine. And if I can do that being the laziest kid I knew, why can't you? So yeah, those are some big lessons that I've learned. That's some, key takeaways that I would honestly implement into your day to day. I don't really know how long this video is exactly. I hope you watch till the end. Yeah, I'm going to be making more of these more frequently because I really feel it allows me to express myself in a different way and express my thoughts to you guys and give you guys as much value as I possibly can, because that's all I'm here for at the end of the day. That's what gives me fulfillment, But yeah, I hope you learned something. I hope you gained some sort of insight or knowledge or resonated with any of this. If you did, just subscribe. You don't really have to. You can always change your mind later. I'm going to be posting more and more frequently, so if you guys are wanting to change your lives, I would highly recommend staying and sticking in the loop. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.